Hi everyone, this is a video about the present perfect and some other past tenses that we've already studied in class. Good luck! This is the story of Tim and Caroline. Read it with me. Tim and Caroline met in San Antonio in 2009 when they were still studying at university. They have known each other for 8 years in all. They got married in 2010. They have lived in Dallas since 2011. Tim has been working as an architect for 5 years and Caroline has been working for an insurance company for 4 years. They have been homeowners since 2015. And finally, they had their first child in 2016 and named her Kimberly. Look, this is the first sentence. In this sentence we have two verbs, met and were studying. Met is a simple past of the verb to meet, and were studying is a past continuous of to study. Were studying represents a whole period when both Tim and Karen studied. And at some point in 2009 they met, and met is a simple past of the verb to meet. This is the second sentence. They have known each other for 8 years in all. And this is a perfect example of what we call the present perfect. Why do we say present perfect? Look at the sentence. They met 8 years ago in 2009, and since then they have known each other until now, and it continues because now they are married. A few years after they met, they decided to marry, and they got married in 2010. Got married is the past simple of the verb to get. Get, got, gotten. Okay. It stands for, again, a specific day in 2010. It's a finished action in the past, and so we use the past simple, got. Let me show you another example of the present perfect. They have lived in Dallas since 2011. 2011 is the starting point in the past. C'est le point de départ dans le passé, en 2011, puisque maintenant nous sommes en 2017. Since then, depuis lors, they have lived together in Dallas. And it continues in the present after the now, because now they are still living in Dallas. Okay, so this is perhaps a more complicated version of the present perfect. It's not the present perfect simple, it's the present perfect continuous. Look, working. Tim has been working as an architect for 5 years. On sait alors qu'il a commencé en 2012 parce que 2017-5 fait 2012. And Caroline has been working for an insurance company for 4 years. So she started in 2013. So, what do we see on this timeline? We have two dates, 2012, 2013. Since then, since those two starting points in the past, Tim and Caroline have been working. And the present perfect indicates that they are still working there now. It started in the past and it continues in the present tense. Revenons au present perfect simple, le present perfect continuous avec in. Vous le verrez l'année prochaine en 5e. They have been homeowners since 2015. Again, we have a starting point, 2015, and it continues in the present. They have been. C'est toujours le cas à l'heure actuelle, en 2017. And we finish the story with a simple past sentence. They had their first child in 2016 and then named her Kimberly. Two single events, finished actions in the past, had their child and named her Kimberly in 2016. Okay, so the use of the present perfect depends on time indicators, time linkers that we see in sentences. The first time linkers that we can see are for, and since. And we use them to talk about a state that started in the past and continues until now. I have lived in England for 5 years. I have been an engineer since 2008, and so on. Let's continue. We also use the present perfect with the time linkers up to now or so far to say that something has happened several times. Quelque chose qui s'est produit plusieurs fois. Up to now, I have completed 5 reports. So far this morning, I have made 3 phone calls. Depuis ce matin, j'ai fait 3 appels. And I have been to France twice so far this year. And then, if we want to talk about recent past events, donc des événements récents du passé qui viennent de se produire, we can use the time linkers already, just, and recently. Examples. She has recently changed jobs. Elle vient de changer de boulot récemment. I have just finished lunch. I'm not hungry. And finally, we usually talk about life experience by using time linkers yet, ever, or never. On parle d'expérience de la vie en utilisant yet, ever, and never. I have never been to Spain. Je n'ai jamais été en Espagne. Depuis que je suis tout petit jusqu'à présent, je n'ai jamais été en Espagne. I haven't seen the movie yet. Depuis qu'il est sorti, je ne l'ai toujours pas vu. Okay, how do we form the present perfect? Well, look, you take a subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. And then you add the present form of the verb to have or has. And then you add the past participle, worked. Il se termine en ed. And if you want to do it in a negative, then you add a not. I have not worked. He has not worked. Alors, que faut-il retenir pour construire le present perfect? Present indique qu'on va utiliser un verbe au présent, c'est-à-dire le verbe have, le verbe avoir, au présent have ou has, auquel on va ajouter le not si on veut faire la négation. Et ensuite perfect, qui indique qu'on va utiliser le past participle, le participe passé. Ce participe passé en ed ou irrégulier, c'est le troisième mot dans la colonne de vos TP. Alors, étant donné que nous avons 2 parties verbales dans le present perfect, on a le have et ensuite le participe passé, pour former une question, on va tout simplement commencer par le have. Have I, have you, have we worked? Or has he or she or it worked? Look at the examples. As I told you, we use the third form of the verb in your irregular verbs list for the past participle. To eat, ate, eaten. C'est donc le eaten qu'on va utiliser comme past participle pour former le present perfect. I have eaten. I have slept. Or I have chosen. Donc la troisième forme. Now, for you it's very important to know the differences between the simple past, the past continuous, and the past perfect. Let's have a look. We will always use the past simple and the past continuous to talk about an action or an event located in the past, a finished action in the past. We will use the present perfect to talk about something that has started in the past but is continuing in the present. Quelque chose qui commence dans le passé mais qui continue dans le présent. This is an example of the use of the past simple. King Albert II was king from 1993 until 2013, when he abdicated. We have 2 past simple forms in this sentence. Was king and abdicated. 2 single events in the past. Let us now consider his son, King Philip. King Philip has been king since 2013. The starting point is 2013 when Albert abdicated. And since then he has been king for 4 years now. We have a duration since 4 years he has been. Time linkers are very important. Thanks to time linkers and to other indications of time, you will be able to know whether you have to use the past simple or the past continuous or the present perfect. Read the story of Tim and Karen again and find the time linkers. Time linkers are little words like since, for, in, ago, when, while, and so on. These are a few examples of the use of for and since with the present perfect. My sister has not been here for years or for ages. Ma sœur n'a plus venu ici depuis des années ou des siècles, c'est une période de temps. We have been married since 1991. 1991 est le point de départ. Depuis lors, nous sommes mariés. And have you done anything since I left you? As-tu fait quelque chose depuis que je t'ai quitté? Je t'ai quitté, c'est le moment précis où je suis parti. We'll use yet and already with the present perfect. Bruce hasn't done his homework yet. Has Bruce done his homework yet? Bruce n'a pas encore fait ses devoirs, on utilise yet avec la négation. Et Bruce a-t-il déjà fait ses devoirs? On utilise yet avec une question. Bruce has already done his homework. Dans les phrases affirmatives, on utilisera already pour dire qu'il a déjà fait ses devoirs. But pay attention. Ago and during are time linkers that we use with the simple past. On utilise ago et during avec le past simple, non pas avec le present perfect. My mom got a new job a week ago. La semaine passée, moment précis dans le passé, ma maman a eu un nouveau boulot. He was in the American Army during the war. Pendant la guerre, une période spécifique du passé, il était dans l'armée américaine. During the war. In questions we use how long with the present perfect in green and when with the simple past in red. I know Martin. How long have you known Martin? I have known him for years. I have known him since 1993. Je le connais depuis des années ou je le connais depuis 1993. Point de départ qui continue dans le présent, je le connais toujours. When did you first meet Martin? I met him 3 years ago. Je l'ai rencontré il y a 3 ans. C'était il y a 3 ans, dans le passé. So, if we try to group these words together, we will use how long, already, since, yet, and for, with the present perfect. And most of the time, we will use ago, while, during, and when, with the past simple and the past continuous. Now do the following exercise. Use the present perfect, so have or has, sometimes does not, and the past participle. But pay attention, most of the time you have to rewrite the whole sentence in order to include the time linkers. Good. And this is the last exercise I want you to do. Can you put the following sentences in the past perfect or in the past simple? Choose the right tense and write the correct form of the verb. Good luck!